Imagine one picture of you changing the trajectory of your life forever. One that you didn't even take. One that you didn't even know was being taken. This is the fascinating yet bizarre story of Alex Lee, more commonly known as Alex from Target. His quick rise to fame and seemingly quicker downfall. How did he go from being an average teenager to an internet sensation in a span of just a few hours? Why did this happen? And what can we learn from it? Welcome back to Stillcake, where we discuss various topics of online media and pop culture. I'm your host, Cake, and let's dive into today's subject. To understand how Alex went viral, we must first understand the time of when it happened. Welcome to 2014, where Vine was at its peak. Iggy Azalea had just hit the scene with Fancy. On Fleek was the newest saying, and where doing anything remotely interesting can get you on The Ellen Show. Zam, Zaniel. Alex LaBeouf, or Alex Lee, was your average 16-year-old teenager. He played soccer, went to church, and worked the occasional part-time shift at a Target in Frisco, Texas. He'd been an employee there for 3 months when a customer took an unsolicited photo of him and posted it on Tumblr in late October 2014. A week later, on November 2nd of 2014, another teen came across the picture and posted it to her 5 Seconds of Summer fangirl Twitter account, shout out 5 Sauce, with the caption, "Yo!" with 10 O's. You can count them. Within minutes, Twitter was in a frenzy of users consisting of mainly crazed teenage girls hunting him down and finding his account, growing it from a measly 144 followers to over 100,000 in just a few hours, and birthing the hashtag #AlexFromTarget. While this was happening, Alex, who was described in a New York Times article as shy and exceedingly polite, was unaware of any of this and was still working the cash register. He noticed his line was getting incredibly long and his manager pulled him aside to show him the photo, which by now had over 30,000 retweets. He couldn't believe it and was told it's better he worked the stockroom until the end of his shift. Good advice. Following his shift, not realizing his number was also leaked, he checked his phone to see hundreds of messages telling the New York Times, "I was getting tons of texts. They're all saying, 'This is crazy. You're famous.'" He then took to Twitter to address his new followers, tweeting, "Am I famous now?" with the post amassing over 84,000 likes. The next day, on November 3rd, Ellen, of course wanting to capitalize on this kid's virality, tweets, "Hey, Alex from Target, it's Ellen from Ellen." Very clever. Just 3 days later, on November 6th, he was on a flight headed straight to Los Angeles, California to appear as a guest on The Ellen Show, and even had paparazzi waiting for him outside his hotel. In less than a week, the 16-year-old had amassed over 500,000 Twitter followers and more than 2 million Instagram followers, all from a picture of him that he didn't even know was taken. A week after meeting Ellen, Alex recalls the experience in the New York Times article stating how after going on the show, he'd been in the house the entire time and is scared to go in public. Alex's father, Eric Fuchs, said there have been dozens of unalive threats on social media and in private messages. Things like, "Alex from Target, I will find you and I will you." People also found Alex's then girlfriend and harassed her as well. According to the Washington Post, tweets like, "Alex from Target has a girlfriend? We must execute her." Crazy stuff. His dad said that in addition to the threats, people also leaked the family's personal information online, including social security numbers, bank accounts, and phone records. Worried for Alex and his 5 siblings' safety, the family got in contact with the local police, his school's principal and security guards, and Target managers to put together security plans in case of an emergency. 10 years later, in 2024, Alex spoke with People magazine about the experience, saying, "I was a very to myself person. I wasn't popular. After The Ellen Show, people started treating me differently, bothering me all day, and the news companies would wait outside my high school. The exposure was intense, and I ended up having to leave my school and start homeschooling." Caitlin Dewey of the Washington Post put it perfectly, writing, "Alex may be internet famous, but the internet owns him. He doesn't own his fans, and he certainly isn't the agent of his own enormous newfound fame." 2 weeks after going viral, Alex told USA Today that the whole Alex from Target thing was getting kind of old. He was now trying to use his platform to direct donations to Just Love International, a nonprofit for children that his mother and psychologist, Marcy Fuchs, helped found. Looking at his engagement in 2015, a year after he went viral, it seems as though people were losing interest in him. He also may have stopped posting since he never seemed to be very active on social media anyway. 2 years later, the day he turned 18, like every other wannabe influencer at the time, Alex decided to move to Los Angeles, California, and began making YouTube videos, chasing that LA influencer lifestyle. In the 2024 interview with People magazine, he talks about this move and says, "I hated it so much, so I ended up abandoning that project as well." In 2018, 2.5 years after his move to Los Angeles, he decided to give social media an actual shot, his words, and created a fitness account to help educate people about powerlifting. He was able to grow to 10,000 followers, but most of them were there for Alex from Target, not Alex Lee. It was then that Alex decided to be done with social media for good, saying how the experience only confirmed how much he dislikes it. He told J14 magazine how he was always back and forth on social media ever since he went viral, but he could never really find his niche or what he really wanted to do with it, which is probably why he stopped altogether. As of January of 2025, Alex does not appear to be active on any social media platforms. Where is Alex today? In the 2024 interview with People, Alex reveals that he is now working at UPS, loading trucks in the morning, and says, "It's so much better than doing social media. The stress is so much lower. It pays a lot less, but I'm a lot happier doing it." He continues saying, "I never wanted to be Alex from Target. Absolutely not. I grew up very quickly. I learned a lot about people, and people don't always have your best intentions in mind. So I learned a lot about being able to trust others. I got to travel the world, meet a lot of really, really nice people, and make some cool connections. It was all a great learning experience." So what's the bigger picture? Get it? Ha! Alex's fame was instant and short-lived, illustrating how quickly viral moments can fade. A few recent examples that come to mind are Huck Tua and Luigi Mangione. As I was researching for this video, I asked my friends about Luigi, and they were all like, "Wait, yeah, what happened to him?" I was even wondering myself. I checked Google Trends, and both him and Huck Tua seem to follow the same projection Alex did. They go viral for something and are usually quite attractive and relatable, which notably helps in their virality. But because they get famous so quickly, people tend to forget about them just as fast. They didn't build that foundation for success from the start, and a lot of times didn't expect to become famous at all. This points to the fleeting nature of internet culture, where trends and sensations are quickly replaced by the next big thing. When your success is built on something as superficial as how you look, the risk of losing it becomes increasingly greater, especially if you don't decide to capitalize on it with other ventures. While Alex's experience may have opened doors for him and seemed promising on the surface, it also came with a lot of problems. He faced intense scrutiny, loss of privacy, and a sudden thrust into fame he didn't even want. Stepping out of the spotlight may have been the best decision Alex ever made. He seems to have found a fulfilling job and life, showing us that true happiness doesn't come from fame. It comes from living authentically and on your own terms. At least he didn't scam his followers and disappear. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cake out!